All right, there is one Irish American Film Festival, and it is right here in Chicagoland. And one of the films that's going to be screened this year is King Frankie. Star Peter Coonan here to chat all about it and the premiere. Thank you so much for your time today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm looking forward to visiting Chicagoland.
This is going to be your very first time. Is that correct?
Very first time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Looking forward to the to visiting the Windy City.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
Seattle?
obviously,
No,
say it
Windy
again.
City is Chicago, isn't it?
When you see that in Chicago, yes, you're correct on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we celebrate St. Patrick's Day big here. There's a huge Irish American community here, so this is we're going to give you a warm welcome on your first trip here.
I look forward to it. I look forward to it.
And you're opening up the very first night of the festival with King Frankie. Tell us a little bit about this film.
Okay, it's a while since I've spoken about it, to be honest. But so the film is about a guy called Frankie, obviously, who the story is told in two different times in his life. At the present moment, the modern day, and then 10 years previous to that. And it basically tells a story of a massive shift that has happened within a man over a period of time due to circumstances, kind of due to his own greed, and kind of with the backdrop of the Celtic Tiger, which was a period in Ireland where there was a lot of money coming in. There was we were doing well in the financial world, and people were borrowing or spending more than they could afford and living well beyond their means. And greed became a very popular emotion in Ireland. And I think it really caused a massive shift that has still yet to be rectified here and further afield, as you well know.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
obviously we have things, in America as well too that that are similar to that. And I think you take a look at these things where you feel like this is our ticket, this is our moment. And
mm,
if it doesn't happen that way, it can change you not just in the short term, but also in the long term.
absolutely. And this is a story about someone who finds a certain level of, dare I say, redemption, but, an opportunity to allow all the mistakes he's made to surface and to deal with them in a manner which is face on. And he is forced into that by circumstance of the past coming to revisit in the modern day. And it's in front of him, and he has no choice but to go through it and to face some of the demons that have chased him for so long. So it's a story, I suppose, which is quite relevant in our modern time, where I think the biggest difficulty people have is sitting still and trying to allow their trauma come to the surface.
Oh, exactly. Because I mean, everybody has obviously maybe not to this extreme or what we're going to see in the film, but a previous life. Before you got married, before you get a new job, before moving. There's certain things about you that you either leave in the past or want to leave in the past, and that's why you kind of make these new decisions. But I think this film resonates with so many people because we all kind of have those little moments in our life that we want to. We're two different people. I think that happens to so many people.
Absolutely, and that was the joy for an actor to be able to play like the dichotomy of one man in such a short period of time. So it was a gift to get the opportunity to do it. And the fact that it's been well received is also and the fact that it's been brought to somewhere like Chicago is a real treat.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about playing, these two different versions, of yourself and how parenthood kind of plays into that part of the two different, characters that or the two parts that we get to see you in this film.
Yeah, I mean, I was glad that the way we shot it was sequentially, so that like I could play the younger Frankie uh, at the beginning, and then shift to the older Frankie in the second half of the shoot. It gave me a chance just to really inhabit a younger version who was far more, flippant and carefree and unaware of the responsibilities that we're facing. I mean, I think like that happens a lot of the time, especially with men, that we don't necessarily take on the responsibility as a parent as quickly as, say, your spouse might, because naturally, of we just are still trying to succeed or find whatever it is that we want to, our ego needs us to get to, so that we can say, look, we've reached the top of this mountain. And sometimes it does take extreme measures, or uh, life experience to bring us down to ground and to make us realize what is important. So it was, playing one part was kind of with a lot of freedom, and it was basically just investigating that time and seeing how people lived. And I remember the time well. And that was a bit of fun, and, kind of, it was vulgar in its own way. But for me, the real kind of challenge at the time was to play the older version, which was very much kind of nearly was closer to myself. Not that I had had experience like that, but I think everyone at certain points in their life has had a traumatic experience that has shaped them. And
Yeah.
for me, it was really kind of trying to find something that was close enough to me that I could really kind of be able to play the older Frankie, but also kind of tell the truth and be able to relate to it in a way that was emotionally connected. And I think it was quite an experience. It was daunting, but I really I enjoyed the challenge, and I'm glad that whatever it came out well in the end.
And obviously, this movie has already been released, in Ireland. But talk a little bit about maybe some of the reception you've gotten, because as you were talking, you're like, I remember this time, I remember what we're going through. But there's some people that are going to go to the theater and say, I remember this time, I remember these emotions I was feeling, and there's going to be some younger moviegoers who maybe
Yeah,
don't have that sense of perception of like, oh, I know exactly what I was doing, and maybe almost like a historical kind of
yeah.
lesson to it. I mean, talk a little bit about maybe some of those perspectives you're getting as far as feedback.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people are thrust back into that time,
Yeah,
and as I said before, like the vulgarity of it and the ostentatious nature of how people were behaving and throwing caution to the wind. And there was so many fancy restaurants and people flying into various places on helicopters. And there was I think there was a lot of drugs being used at a time. A certain powder, I think, was being used, and for readily available for the first time, I think, in Ireland in its history, really, by a certain class of people.
yeah,
And it was kind of a it's a very tragic time, because it was like that thing of, maybe, for us to examine, is how a nation reacts to getting something that they've always wanted, and to be careful what you wish for.
yeah,
And um, yeah, it's a period in time where I think it's shaped how we are still. I think it's shaped that idea of reaching for serious heights and individual success and materialist success is something that hasn't left us since then. It goes away and we drop, and then we come back up again. Similar to COVID, when everything went still and people were appreciating nature and spending more time with the family. But it wasn't long when people were straight back in the rat race and hunting down the great euro or dollar, as it were.
yeah. You kind of forget those moments where some people, it still lives within you. You're going to come here. You're going to introduce the film. Are you doing a Q&A, or tell me a little bit about what you're planning to do here?
Yeah, I'm introducing the movie. I think we're doing a Q&A. I look forward to walking around the city. One of my favorite things about going to a new city is basically just wandering around and like checking out where Steppenwolf have their theater base. I don't
Yeah,
know if they've anything on at the moment. I have been need to have time from the kids to check, but just to soak up the history of an amazing city, and then to meet Paddy and Mike and all the other movies. Check out a few other movies as well. Enjoy a bit of freedom.
a little bit, a little bit of freedom.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Steppenwolf has a show called Mr. Wolf, which is amazing. The Goodman has Ashland Avenue with Jenna Fisher from The Office. That's currently playing in Chicagoland. And then we have a musical about Catch Me If You Can, the Leonardo DiCaprio film.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
the
that's
theater sounds amazing. I must
yeah,
get I must get a list. Can you send me a list? Would you mind?
yeah. I'll
Pass
send you a
that
list
on.
so you can go ahead and check out some stuff during your free time.
I'd love it, man. I'd love it.
Speaking of love, let's talk a little bit about love hate. A lot of people love you from that show, the character of Fran. I mean, talk a little bit about the legacy of that because we can stream it on Netflix here
Oh,
in
can you?
America. Yeah, you can stream it over here.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I actually literally just had lunch with Stuart, the writer, creator of the show, um, just about half an hour ago. Um, oh, I mean, listen, I wouldn't be here talking about another movie if I hadn't have done Love Hate. It
yeah,
was I think it was a seminal moment in Irish TV, when it really shifted the paradigm in regards to how we produced and made TV shows. You know, we I grew up sneaking Goodfellas to my friend's party when I was 10,
yeah.
so we could all watch it with the hope that no one would check your bag to see what you had. So, and I shouldn't have been watching Goodfellas at 10, really. But, I had watched Silence of the Lambs at 9, so it's like, it's not that much of a
Yeah,
leap. Um, so, when I got an audition to play this gangster, as it were, it was it was a dare I say dream come true to play someone so volatile and loose, and just to be given such free reign and amazing scripts, and with incredible bunch of Irish actors and a director at the helm who was just full of energy, gave us support, gave us freedom, and it was just so raw and visceral, and it just struck a zeitgeist here. Like, I mean,
yeah,
it was they always talk about the water cooler moments, the water cooler
yeah.
moments that you get, and it was that every week for a good few years. So it's certainly the thing that has given me any kind of a stepping board to be where I am today. So I'm eternally grateful for it.
Oh my goodness, Peter, that is so amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. Cannot wait for you
A
to come
pleasure.
to Chicago. September 26th through the 28th is when we're going to have the film festival. Opening night is King Frankie. It's going to be at the Winnetka Theatre. Go ahead and check it out. Get those tickets. And cannot wait for you. And definitely have a wonderful time in Chicagoland.
Thanks, Rudy. Thanks a million, man.
Thank you so much.